Baba ka mag-live, Jules. Musuway kong share screen, Jules, ha?
Sige, sige, attorney.
Suway rin, suway. Oh.
Ika 27 ron, Jules.
Yes, ma'am.
Suway rin. Share screen. Kita ra?
Sa tatong mga kuan.
Kita ra, Jules?
Si Marie Ave.
Kita, Jules?
Yes,
Renato Pano.
makita.
Sorry, usap. Kita, Jules?
Si
Yes.
Ay,
Romeo.
share na. Sige na. Co-host na.
Bitaw para badangog yung dila.
Mag-set
Ano
up.
na? Ramosa na?
Ramosa.
Ramosa. Wa pa man nag-share si Julius.
Mag-set up na ko ha.
Sige. Go. Standby.
Bangon ganyan ko, yapil ko.
Imo diha kalibang sa among office, oy. Adtong sa inyo ha, kalibang.
Hindi ko na-mute, sorry.
Basig live na ta, Jules, ha? Mahibaw ang nalipang seat sa atong office.
Kinsa pa itong mga kanang suki na itong nga i-greet. Si Marie Ave, si Renato Panoy, si John Ramosa.
Sige gitong taga Cebu nga sit.
Si Kuan, si
Katong
Lirio.
katong dili treasurer katong usa gali.
Lirio Bantasan.
Mao da ito.
Standby na ta. Mag-live na ko ha.
Mute
Mute
ako
lang,
na.
response to the issues and concerns that we have. No one in BLGF is a superstar because everyone in the team really counts.
Hi. Good morning. Good morning, Bohol. Good morning, Cebu. Good morning, Negros Oriental. And good morning, Siquijao Province. Good morning, Central Visayas. As well as we will send out our morning greetings to the entire nation, Philippines. Yeah? Kasi nationwide yung viewership natin. Ang dami natin. So, okay. From Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao, hope na andyan pa rin kayo. Bati-bati naman dyan. Comment naman sa aming pa-comment section. And as you know, this is our 27th episode. And we will be still continuing part 3 on our accountability, responsibility, and liability. Medyo madugo kasi usapan, di pwedeng madadaliin. And this episode, I promise to be very brief. I will just discuss one principle, one case. Remember, we are distinguishing accountability, responsibility, and liability. Nag-recap tayo second episode. Today, we will continue with another principle. Yung hanging ko ngang tanong sa inyo, what if nagiging member kayo ng BAC? Swerte ngayon, yung mga treasurers, hindi na yata member ng BAC. May memorandum na si secretary, kaya kasi in conflict na nakaling duty yung membership. But if in case nagiging member kayo noon, so what if may disallowance yung co-auditor kasi nga ay medyo mali yung pagka-pricing doon sa mga items na subject to your transaction, may disallowance, tapos member kayo ng Bids and Awards Committee, magiging automatically liable ba kayo as member of the BAC? Comment na po dyan sa aming comment section. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, we will now hear a message from our regional director, ang pasimuno na ating BLGF7 online kapihan. Good morning, Director JC Joy Doctolero. Good morning, RD. Pasok!
Good morning, Attorney. Good morning, Sid. Good morning, Jolis. Good morning, Pilipinas. May buntag, Central Visayas, sa atong mga assessors, sa atong mga treasurers nga naminaw nato karon. Welcome to our 28th episode. So, I call this a new paradigm for building trust. Okay? So perhaps there are some treasury and assessment offices that has been slower to move their processes from manual to virtual environment. So in my conversation turns with some of our treasurers and assessors while doing my rounds in some of LGUs I visited, I see a clear and convincing biases towards face-to-face interactions, okay? Because they believe that physical presence is required, okay, in order to create intimacy. However, we want to bridge the gap towards like in BLGF7 through this online kapihan, online platform, the online kapihan sa BLGF7 or ikonsulta kay Attorney Tanika, we promise, okay, that through this, it is possible to create intimacy in a virtual environment. But of course, with your participation, okay, because we have to find ways to build credibility, reliability, and trust. That is why for today's episode, Attorney Tanika will be talking for the third part about accountability, responsibility, and liability. Okay?
RD, na-mute ka, RD? RD, you are muted. RD, we lost you, RD. You are muted. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
yan. We can hear you now.
We need a significant shift in mindset towards, okay, and technology can really help us, okay? With many platforms, including the features and functionality of this platform that can make it easy for our participants to connect, to share, and reach out. To connect by just viewing us, to share by commenting at the comment box, and of course to reach out to their by sharing their stories or their best practices in their respective LGUs. Now, more than ever, as leaders, as assessors, as treasurers, and department head in your respective LGUs, each one need the courage to make evidence-based decisions and humility to challenge their own view of your talent, especially at this time of pandemic. So, for today's episode, a lot of discussions has been installed, has been prepared by Attorney Danica, and of course, his co-host, Miss Catherine Bernardo. Okay, so thank you so much and good morning, Turds. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. That was our Regional Director Jesse Joy Dr. Lero, Regional Director po ng aming BLGF 7 dito sa Cebu, Central Visayas. At this juncture, na-introduce na ni Ade yung kasama ko ngayon sa aming Kapihan 7. We will be missing Miss John Annabella. Nag-attend pa rin ng isang Zoom meeting din sa Treasury yata concern din yon. So, again, nasabi na ni Ade, nagbabalik yung Kathleen Bernardo ng aming regional office. Natural ba yung buko? Kakariban lang. Ladies and gentlemen, my co-host for today, si Miss Sid Caballero, ang aming Legal Officer Special Investigator. Good morning, Sid! Pasok!
Good morning, Attorney. Good morning, RD. Good morning to our viewers this morning. May buntag sa ato ang suking viewers. We have our no other than the beautiful and other half of our regional director, Miss Marie Ave. We also have Mr. Renato Panoy, atong suki nga tigtanaw, si Mr. Romeo Ramosa II, our production team from Thailand. We have our top fans, Miss Lirio Bantasan, Chamoy Moy, Julie Santos, Miss Marilo Herrera saying, mainit na pagbati sa lahat galing sa tagatasa ng bayan ng Consolacion, Cebu. Good morning also to Miss Marilo Arante, Mr. Glenn Blair de la Peña from Talibon, Bohol, Miss Lucille Vius Orlina, a top fan also, Mr. Romel Riosa from MTO Vintar, Ilocos Norte. Good morning, sir. We also have Miss Michelle Mamites Villaferte from Pau, Cebu Province, Mr. Dads Tudtud Santillan from LGU Bantayan, Intes Julina from CTO Toledo City, Miss Bernadette Obanyana, top fan from MTO Santa Catalina, Negros Oriental. Good morning also to Attorney Regal Oliva and
Good morning,
Mr. June Rivera Jr. Good morning. Good morning also to Miss Bercilia Kidato from Paso Masbate, Mr. Cesar Sabas Jr. from Danao City, Leticia Abs Cabilion from MTO Domanhog, Hernan Soliano, a top fan, Miss Chris Marie from Catmon, Cebu, Colin Andales Noinay from Medellin, Cebu, and to the rest of our 42 live viewers this morning, good morning to all.
Ay, dami
Back to you,
agad.
Torn.
42 agad. Nung una, 13 lang sa initial. Yay, paramihin pa natin. Babalikan natin si Arnie. May i-greet si Arnie. Arnie, pasok Arnie.
Yes, Turds, BLGF 7 our birthday celebrant for this week. We have Mr. Jumedes Yong from the Municipal Assessor of Alegria, Cebu. Happy birthday, Sir Yong.
Happy birthday.
Baka naman
Ayaw pang
maambunan.
lunch.
Happy birthday, Engineer Yong, Jumedes Yong of Alegria, Cebu. Thank you, Torns.
Thank you, Ardi. Babalikan natin mamaya si na Ardi at saka Sid sa mga pag-greetings natin at sa mga updates siguro mamaya. Again, this is the part 3 of our accountability, responsibility, and liability. But before we proceed, hindi natin makakaya ng magpapatuloy tayo sa ating BLGF 7 kapihan pag wala munang news that matters. News of the past week that matters kasi may mga top news pero hindi naman nagmamatter. So pasadahan na bigay ng ating production team. Labas pa. Presko. Ito. First, top news that matters from the week that was. President Duterte, first, wants to meet with ex-presidents to tackle the issue on West Philippine Sea. Ayan, sabi niya gusto niyang magkaroon ng informal talks with the ex-presidents, 4 pa yata, so 5 sila. So, supposedly mayroong convention of National Security Council, but sabi ng ating presidente, no, he don't want to convene the National Security Council but wants to have an informal talk with the ex-president. Sino kayang dadalo? Yan. Saya niyan. Sinong dadalo? Meron ba dyan si President Erap, si President GMA, naandyan pa si President Noynoy at saka si ex-President Fidel Ramos. 5 sila lahat. Pangalawang top news of the week that matters. President Duterte again tells the public, don't be choosy with COVID-19 vaccine. Sabi niya, wag nang choosy. Wag nang pili-pili ng kung anong bakuna. Sabi nga niya, ibibigay daw sa mga mahihirap yung Pfizer. Wala nang pilian. Ay, magiging Pfizer yung sa akin kasi sabi ng President, ibibigay daw sa mga mahihirap yung Pfizer. Yeah, assured na kami ng Pfizer kasi sa mga kung ano daw ang nasa ito sabi ng presidente kung ano ang nasa harap niyo ay pareho lang yan. Otherwise daw kung magpipili ka kung ayaw mo yung kung ano yung bakunang nasa harap niyo ay you stay at home. Sabi ng presidente, pag choosy ka you stay at home pag hindi ka gusto yung bakunang nasa harap mo, and the best vaccine is the one that is going to be given to you. Sabi nga ng ating Department of Health. Ito, I want the production team to verify on this one because medyo importanting announcement ito coming from a tweet from the ito. Kasi importante ito The PRC, the Philippine Regulation Commission, Professional Regulation Commission, main, central office yata, reschedules the June 2 licensure exam of real estate appraiser. So, i-verify nyo baka kasi tweet kasi ito galing from Manila Times, di ba? So, i-verify nyo. Make sure kasi this is important news, but this is what is posted in their website. The PRC daw reschedules the June 2 licensure exam of real estate appraiser to September 22 after receiving appeals from stakeholders calling for its postponement. Verify nyo muna bago kayo niwala kasi June to, bakit nag-prepare kayo? Hindi nyo na gustong mag-prepare. So, tingin-tingin muna doon sa PRC website bago kayo naniwala sa tweet niyan. Okay. Yan. Pang-apat na top news that matters from the week that was. Okay. Balik tayo kay President Duterte. Sabi ng ating presidente, strict lockdown possible if health protocol are defied. The president noted a sharp drop of cases because everyone followed health protocols. Kasi sabi niya, kasi pag hindi kayo nag-follow ng health protocols, di mapipilitan again ako na mag-impose ng lockdown and everything at mag-stricto ang gobyerno. So, follow pa rin na tayo ng health protocols. Bawal pa rin yung mga hindi social distancing, yung mga hindi nag-face mask, face shields, hindi nagsasinungaling. We always follow health protocol. Ito medyo controversial na news that matters. Medyo nakaka-kuan din. Nakaka-alarm din itong sinasabi na ito. Not necessarily alarm, but controversial to say the very least. Sabi ng CHED, Commission on Higher Education. This is coming from CHED, Ayan. There is no going back. No going back. There is no going back to traditional face-to-face learning. Sabi ng CHED, flexible learning is here to stay. Ito, ang daming nagre-react ito. There is no going back. But however, inassure ng CHED, there will be flexible learning applicable at higher education level as now the CHED adopts a policy to implement flexible learning in coming school years. Ang reason na binibigay ng CHED is because there is risk of exposing due to stakeholders to same risks if another pandemic comes in. Natatakot sila mayroon na namang ibang pandemic. And if we go back face-to-face daw, we would have wasted all the investments we made in the technology and in the teacher training and in retrofitting. Yan, dami nag-react ng news niyan. There is no going back. Paano na yan? Ito, from local news from Central Visayas, particularly from Cebu. Coming from City Treasurer's Office dito sa amin sa Cebu City. Sabi report ng local news. More businesses are shutting down for good. Yan, good. A year after COVID pandemic was declared and lockdown was declared also due to restricted movement and shutdown of some establishment. According to the City Treasurer's Office, 722 businesses applied sa Cebu City, applied for retirement or closure of businesses. Maganda yata yung topic yan, retirement or closure of businesses. Okay. And fewer also renewed also applied for the renewal of business permit. So, comparable data reveals that aside from application for retirement and the fact that there are fewer businesses who have applied for application of renewal of businesses, 2,161 were shut down. Businesses, 2,161 businesses were shut down due to the COVID pandemic. But sabi ng taga-Business Processing Licensing Office, maaga pa naman, nasa May pa tayo. Baka papawi tayo when things stabilizes, diba? Ito, ibang news pa rin, local news this time, hindi sa amin, coming from Region 6 and other provinces. IETF places Iloilo City and other 3 provinces under the strict year MECQ, Modified Enhanced Community Quarantine. And this is due to transmission rates, medyo mahaba yung transmission rates nila doon. At saka sa appeal na mismo ng mga LGUs, other provinces that are under MECQ are Apayao, Cagayan. Yan. Balik muli sila sa MECQ. Ayan, marapit na tayong matapos sa ang ating ito. From human interest, di ba sabi ng ating article niya, medyo kulang itong virtual we still need that face-to-face intimacy during our interaction sa ating delivery of services. Ito, a study from body language expert says, are you unable to resist the urge to wave at the end of the Zoom? Di ba? Hindi natin ma-resist para tayong wave aggressive at the end of every meeting. Nagwi-wave talaga tayo. Sabi ng body language experts, you are not alone. You are not alone amidst the aggressive wavers because body language expert says, this is a good thing. Huwag kang mahiya mag-wave after the end of the Zoom meeting because it sends a clear yet polite signal that the meeting is over as opposed to just clicking away or leaving the platform. And it is parang it supplies na rin the needed interconnectivity ng, kasi formal yung meeting walang joke-joke minsan of it, we wave, parang personal connection na rin miski papaano. So you are not alone if you cannot resist the urge to wave at the end of the Zoom meeting. Ito na naman, ano ba itong production team natin? News that matters daw for the week. Yan, makinig. Ayan, dumadaan na yun ng truck ng basura sa amin na may tumutunog na sa background ko. Sharon Cunita is ready to leave the Philippines and to stay in the United States for good. Yan. He wants to find herself and to have a moment of silence again. Ayan, si Michelle Cunita is ready to leave the Philippines and to stay in the US for good. Sana all. All. And last news for the week that matters. Ito, our production teams, minarapat po ng aming production team na i-include ito sa news for the week that matters. Panghuli ng news for the week that matters. Ito, galing sa kapuso mo, Jessica. So, tweet ng KMGS. Ano ba naman ito, production team? Mga kaso daw ng aksidenteng nakalunok ng kanilang postiso dumarami. Wow! Dumarami daw yung aksidenteng nakalunok ng kanilang postiso. Di ba napanood natin ito kagabi? Sabi pa nga ng isa dito, si Sir Jojo, napaubo ako, kaya bumangon ako. Pagkalunok ko ng laway ko, may bumabara sa lalamunan ko yun nalunok na pala yung postiso ko. Buti na lang totoo ito sa amin, wala kaming malulunok. Ayan, that was news for the week that thank you production team sa mga walang kiyentan yung human interest na ini-include natin. Actually, that is interesting, ha? Be careful kung sino man dyan may dentures. Ngayon, bawal umubo, di ba? Mas lalo na pag may dentures kayo, baka malunok nyo. Yan. Again, we will go back to our discussion on responsibility, accountability, and liability. Magre-recap ako ng konti pa maya-maya. But in the meantime, medyo papasadahan natin yung mga humabol sa ating mga comment section dyan sa ating live streaming. At by the way, before I go back to our co-host, si Ms. Caballero, medyo the past few episodes video na announce natin, medyo nag-spike yung cases sa Bohol province. Medyo 27 mga yung sa Capitol, sa PTO, diba? Ngayon, Negros Oriental, mga kasamahan namin dyan sa Negros Oriental, ingat kayo kasi may spike na naman dyan sa COVID-19 cases. So, ingat po kayo dyan sa Negros Oriental. From Bohol, ngayon Negros Oriental naman. And in fact, ang katabing probinsya at katabing region yung sa Iloilo, nagiging MECQ sila. Okay, papasadahan uli natin yung mga pa-shoutouts, yung mga humabol sa ating live streaming before we proceed with our responsibility, accountability, and liability. Pasok, Ms. Sid Caballero.
Hello, Daniel. Ay, sorry, Attorney D.I.
Yan. Ganda ni Sid
Pa-shout out
ngayon.
sa atong mga suking viewers this morning. We have Miss Geraldine Tumulak from Sugod, Cebu.
Ay, tatawa na yan.
Niya dayag. Top
Luling
fan
Cebu.
gihapon ni siya, Torns. We have Miss Janet Molina from La Union. Bernadette
Hi, good morning,
Timonio.
Mm-mm.
Torns, yes.
Mm-mm. Go ahead, Sid.
Okay, Torns, thank you. We have Mr. Richard Tumulak, Miss Grace Arpon, Miss Rosemary Villacampa, Miss Luz Lambos, Bernadette Timonio from Mau, Mabinay, Negros Oriental, Miss Naisa Completo, top fan sa Nitorn sa itong treasurer from Balamban, Cebu. We have Miss Genevieve Kirit, Rashin Mantalaba from Minglanilla, Cebu, Yudiza Ragadag from Camarines Sur, Mr. Miguel Magan, Municipal Assessor's Office of Danao, Bohol, Mr. Santiago Soriano Jr. ato puning suki nga Municipal Treasurer from Calape, Bohol. We have Miss Jen Formentera, Acting Municipal Treasurer from Madridejo, Cebu. Of course, ang atong former Acting Regional Director, Miss Hilda Garzola.
Good morning, Ma'am
Good
Hilda.
morning, Ma'am Hilds. We
Good
also
morning,
have
ma'am.
Miss
Good morning,
Milagros
Ma'am Hilda.
Matutes from MTO Santa Fe, Cebu. Miss Brenda Liamedo, ang atong kauban diri sa regional office. Ang of course, ang atong head sa Treasury Division. We also have Miss June Ann Avelia watching with us. And the rest of our production team, we have Sir Edwin, Ma'am Emma, Ma'am Gemma, Sarah, Anna. Also, we have Jed and we have June watching with us today. We also have Miss Alejandrina Armisa, Mr. Dave Jr. Serrano from Pamas Inc.
Good morning,
po.
Mr. President. Yes, Sid. Would that be all, Sid?
Yes, that's all for today.
Balikan kita mamaya, Sid. RD, we have an addition to our BLGF7 family. I-congratulate natin yung bagong dagdag lang sa ating pamilya. Kaka-appoint lang, RD. Pasok, RD.
Yes, we are so happy to be joined by a new member of our family. Congratulations to Mr. Julius Chin, okay? Newly appointed Administrative Assistant 1 of Region 7. Congratulations, Jed, and welcome to your family, your BLGF7 family.
Ayan, congratulations, Jed. Welcome to BLGF7 family. Ito, magre-recap tayo ng saglit lang. We promise we will not hold you long kasi we have seen medyo trending. Medyo 1 hour lang ang daming nagre-replay sa amin dito. Ayan, nakita. Yan po si Jed Chin, anak po ni Engineer at saka Dr. Chin ng Madridejo, Cebu. Good morning. Congratulations sa inyo, Dr. Chin at saka Engineer Chin dyan sa Madridejo, Cebu, ang aming municipal assessor dyan sa Madridejo. Yan po si Parang ang tuso ni Jed dyan, parang napaka-baskulado sa actual na person ang babait. Parang ibang-iba yung Jed na nakilala ko. Congratulations, Jed! Yan, responsibility, accountability, and liability. Papasadahan natin ng medyo madali lang. Responsibility to be differentiated from accountability and liability. Again, we have established in our earlier episodes that if you are identified as responsible officer or accountable officer, hindi po automatic yung liability. At pag sinasabi po ng ating COA findings na you are liable, it does not mean na administratively liable automatically na. Kasi may due process pa yan. Ang hinahanap po doon sa administrative liability is yung substantial evidence. Liability na as COA findings yung pecuniary liability, personal obligation lang to refund or reimburse. Ayan. Responsibility. First muna, responsibility ay if you have imputed power, mayroong responsibility na nakaatang yung batas sa iyo. You have the responsibility to exercise due diligence in supervising yung mga nasa baba mo, yung mga subordinates mo to see to it the government funds and properties are not put to waste or illegal use. Pag hindi ka nag-exercise ng supervision, due diligence doon sa mga subordinates mo, liable ka na din. On the other hand, accountability just simply means if the law allows you to take custody or to possess government funds and property, ikaw po ay accountable officer. So, maaari pong responsible officer pero wala kang actual custody of funds or property, hindi ka accountable. Responsible lamang. Responsibility may lie in some officers and accountability on the other. Ang measure naman ng liability pag ikaw ay accountable officer ay kapag there is unlawful, illegal use, application, or deposit of the funds or property, illegal use. Yan. Number 2, also measures of liability when you are an accountable officer. Pag mayroong negligence in the custody of government funds or property. In the last episode, we have cited you a case wherein a certain government employee was issued as government-issued cell phone nawala doon sa LRT emergency. Sabi ng Supreme Court doon sa case na na-cite natin, hindi po yung negligent ang pagsakay ng public transport kagaya ng LRT. So, situational po yung negligence upang yung accountable officers ay magiging liable. And the second principle that we have applied last episode, yung issue about cash advances, hindi na account ng pay. Sino ba yung pay? Nagiging pay pa doon? Si Mayor. Sabi ni Mayor, hindi naman ako nagkinabang doon sa perang cash advance kasi ang purpose kasi ng cash advance for augmentation of the general fund. Sabi ng kuha, medyo malabo yan. Dinis allow. Kasali ba si Mayor? Sabi ni Mayor, hindi naman ako gumamit ng cash advance. In fact, it was admitted that the treasurer used that for the augmentation of general fund. Ano ba yung augmentation? Kaya kasi na-disallow. Sabi ng kuha, no. The fact that you are payee of the check, ibig sabihin yun, you are accountable officer, di ba? Ang definition ng accountable officer, pag may possession or custody na ka ng public funds or property, automatic po yung nagiging accountable officer. And under the revised penal code, yung sino mang yung mga accountable officer should liquidate to render accounts on the cash advances made. Bakit ba? So therefore, hindi po kasi na-liquidate yun si accountable officer, which in that case, the mayor is the accountable officer is yung nagiging liable. Not to mention also that he can babawi sa reimbursement kung sino may actual na gumamit sa pera na yun. Sabi ng Supreme Court. Again, those, ladies and gentlemen, may not apply to your actual cases. Kaya nga iniiwasan natin mag-entertain dito sa ating comment section. Na mga actual cases, hindi natin pangunahang i-resolve yung mga cases nyo kasi nakabinbin pa yan ko sa kung anumang forum. May COA, may internal audit o doon sa ombudsman mismo. This is just a generic friendly discussion sa atin pong for purposes of parang establishing lang what may apply to your case and what may not apply. This time, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you another principle in responsibility, accountability, and liability. Particularly, Production team, nakikita ba yung screen ko? Can you see my screen? Otherwise, please. Ayan. I hope you are seeing my screen. Okay. Again, for the interest of hindi po natin sinasite yung actual title ng case, caption ng case, pero sinasite po natin yung mga citation lamang kasi we have nationwide viewership ay baka po kasi may nakakilala sa mga na-mention ng case na ito. So this is available naman doon sa website ng Supreme Court at scjudiciary.gov.ph, GR number 1310777 August 7, 1998. Okay, pangunang tanong muna before natin ilahad itong mga facts of the case. At saka babalikan natin mamaya yung mga pag-greetings natin. Baka maka-comment kayo, maka-participate kayo ng aming discussion. Okay. Have you been a member of the Bids and Awards Committee? In whatever capacity muna, whether the TWJ or the actual membership in the back. Membro ka ng back, have you gone into a transaction wherein it was disallowed by COA? So, sino bang magiging liable doon sa disallowance doon sa transaction na approved by the Bids and Awards Committee? Ito ang problema dyan. Minsan, and this is a trend in the Sandigan Bayan cases and even in lower courts cases, sometimes daw na-absolve yung mga local chief executive kasi sabi ng decision, sometimes yung mga approving agency, yung mga heads of the local government unit, yung mga governor, mayor, they just rely on the completed staff work, on the works of the Bids and Awards Committee. Kasi sila naman daw yung dapat nag-look after sa mga propriety, legality at kung whatever man dyan sa mga transaction dyan. Pumipirma na lang sila. So nakakalusot yung ating mga LCA. Ganyan ba yung totoo sa field? Yung mga nagdidikta kung ano ba yung mga presyuhan, talaga yung back pa? At saka walang kinalaman sila mayor at saka governor. Kaya pinalusot kasi nga daw they only relied on the works of the Bids and Awards Committee. Yan. So, but this time, however, this is different. Yan, may disallowance sa COA. Sabi ng COA, liable yung mga members ng Bids and Awards Committee. Balikan natin ang facts and circumstances ng cases na yan. Pagbalik natin ng ating discussion. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, balikan ko muna. Gusto ko munang balikan yung ating mga pa-shoutouts. Baka dumami na yung ating mga live streamers dyan sa ating pag-comment section. Ayan, do I have my co-host na again? Ang aming Catherine Bernardo ng BLGF7, si Miss Sid Caballero. Ang ganda ng background ni Sid. Nasaan kaya siya? Sid, pasok sa mga pag-greetings.
Good morning again, attorney, my DJ for today. We have few viewers, attorney, nga nadungag sa atong listahan. We have Mr. Ernesto Rupak, atong kauban diri si Miss Emma Go, si Miss Maricor Gayanelo, Mr. Arsenio Fudutan, the Municipal Treasurer of Albuquerque, Bohol. We have Miss Eileen Coliflores Parado, the Municipal Treasurer of Consolacion, Cebu. Miss Juliet Bagochay from Siquijor. From Mr. Dudong Maluluyon Soliano. We also have Miss Dean Berameda Oco from MTO Pasacao. Good morning again, Torns.
Torn Pasacao is in Camsor.
Okay.
That's
Thank you for that information, RD. And RD, may pahabol pa di ay, of course, ang daddy, ang atong suki, daddy sa atong bagong appointed na administrative assistant to. We have Mr. Engineer Chin, the assessing officer from Cebu. And also, RD, try ka ng comment diri RD. Sabi ni Engineer Chin, good morning to all. Thank you, Sir RD, for accepting Jed as new member of the BLGF family. Thank you, Torns, and special thanks to Ma'am Jun-An and Ma'am Gemma. Back to you, Torns.
Hello din kay Sol, yung municipal assessor natin sa Hinatilan.
Yeah,
So, she's also a friend of Engineer Chin.
At saka RD, batiin mo personally RD, si Mr. Dave Serrano, ang ating president ng PAMAS. Suki na yan, RD.
Yes, Press Dave, thank you for joining us. So hopefully we can meet each other during your face-to-face convention. So I think Torres, naghahanda yung PAMAS. They're having a meeting last week. Siguro
okay.
conducting a
Aktibo yung
face-to-face
PAMAS.
conference. So kanina na-notice mo si Catherine, si Daniel, parang nakilig, pero parang hinohold niya yung kilig niya. Parang natakot siya ilabas yung
I guess the feeling is mutual. I'm also holding on to something, baka malaglag ako.
Baka nandyan si Ma'am sa likod.
Si Miss Sid
Friends sila. Ayan.
Okay.
Thank you, Ardy. Thank you, Seth.
Thank you, Coach.
Ayan, namumula tuloy yung mga pimple ko. Ayan, saan na ba ako? Ayan, si Mr. Dave Serrano, President ng ABA. We hope to talk to you again, sir, because me and RD and the rest of some BHF officials, I'm not at liberty to divulge, we are talking about contentious issues na about assessment works. Naalala ko si President Dave Serrano. Gusto kong balik ng makausap. Sana, sir, we'll have you again someday. Ang ganda kasing pag-usapan galing from representations from the municipal assessor. Again, sabi ko nga, we here at the BLGF have the luxury of reading the law as it is. Pero wala po kaming actual na mga grades, shades of gray na sinasabi yung mga experience yan. Ang daming hugot. So, I miss talking to our PAMAS President, Mr. Dave Serrano. Good morning, Mr. Dave. Yan. Patuloy na tayo dito sa ating discussion ngayon, and I promise to end at 11 talaga sharp, kasi nga sabi natin we will not hold you long para naman for the sake doon sa mga team replays, yung mga nagre-replay sa ating PLGF 7 live kapihan, hindi mahaba-haba yung i-replay na. Again, please feedback pag hindi nyo nakita yung share screen ko para before I proceed. Kung nakita naman, pag walang feedback, it means you are seeing my screen. Okay. Again, this is about liability this time, ladies and gentlemen, because we have talked about responsibility and accountability. This time, we will zero in on liability. GR number 131077, August 7, 1998. Anong nangyari sa kasong ito? Dito kasi sa kasong ito, there was a pre-qualification bids and awards committee of the isang processing zone ito. They conducted ito pre-qualification pa kasi, so parang to screen pa muna, no, di ba? Sa mga magpa-public bidding, no. So they conducted a public bidding for the supply and installation. Again, the transaction is supply and installation of an electrical distribution system. May phases pa yan. So anong nangyari? After evaluation, transfer ko muna yung pagmumukha ng aming mga co-host para hindi. Ayan. After evaluating the bids on a memorandum dated January 9, 1990, they declared a certain company as the lowest complying bidder and thus recommended that the project be awarded to the said company. Again, the transaction is about the supply at saka kalakip na doon ang installation of an electrical distribution system doon sa office nila. Now, the above recommendation was based on the AAE, yung approved agency estimates. Kung pagkano ba yung mga project estimates yan. The project estimate that was approved through the AAE, yung approved agency estimate, amounted to 2,860,156.72. And the allowable government estimate in the amount of 3,027,891.19. Yan yun. The approved agency estimate in turn was based on the program of works, yung POW, which indicates that the amount, remember the transaction is this supply and distribution and installation of electrical supplies and distribution. The POW indicates, the program of works indicates that the amount of 2,306,578 as direct cost of the project. On August 2, 1990, tagal na pala to. The contract, ayan, again, please take note, evolving po kasi yung mga principle ng Supreme Court, baka may update ito. So, kaya nga sabi ko, sometimes we zero in on the principle, not necessarily on the facts and circumstances, because the facts and circumstances may be one thing to your specific and actual facts and circumstances, medyo hindi mag-apply. So, we just zero in on the principle of the Supreme Court case, decision. Yeah. On August 2, 1990, the contract involving the bidded project was executed between the administrator of that certain processing zone, economic processing zone, and the general manager of the company na nanalo doon sa bidding. Kalaunan, the parties to the above contract executed a supplemental, medyo mayroon pa parang additional works. And this time, the additional works costed 2,663,394 pesos .01. Yan. Thereafter, the main contract and the supplemental agreement were submitted for review and evaluation by the Technical Service Office of the Public Respondent Commission on Audit. Kaya kasi si Kuya yung naghahabla nito. So, on appeal, nagiging respondent si Kuya. Sabi kasi doon, pagkapunta doon, meron parang office na ganito sa Kuya, no? Technical Services Office. Ano kayang trabaho ng TSO? So, siguro, this is about costing, so sila rin yung nagre-review about the costing of transactions. Now, the aforesaid Technical Services Office ng Kuya, Technical Services Office, totoo, reports show that the main contract and the supplemental agreement were above by the Kuya TSO estimates. Sabi ng TSO, in short, medyo overpriced yan Ano kayang benchmark ng Kuya TSO? Pag sinasabi nilang overpriced. Sabi ng Kuya, these were above the Kuya Technical Services Office's estimates by as much as 31.55% and 34.53%. Due to higher cost of transformers and wrong application of VAT. Doon nakita. Medyo wrong application yung VAT. At saka cost, medyo nakita na, mataas yung pagka-costing nyo sa transformer. Sabi ng Kuya, it is found out in the approved agency estimate na mataas yung cost of transformer at saka value-added tax application. Therefore, it resulted to a much higher estimate of 31.55% and 34.53%. Yung mga percentage niya dyan, minsan, it translates to million. Accordingly, ayan, sabi niya. Yung dinesallow na Kuya amounted to 1,179,719 and 59 cents for the two contracts. Dinesallow ng Kuya. Kasi nga, sabi ng TSO ng Kuya, medyo mali yung application ng VAT nyo At saka yung transformer costing nyo, medyo mataas. Hindi apa. So, dinesallow in amount of 1,179,719.59 pesos. Ngayon, tanong ko sa'yo before we proceed with the court's ruling, the Supreme Court's ruling. Before we proceed with the ruling of the Supreme Court, magiging liable ba ang members of the Bids and Awards Committee? I-stretch natin para you have time to comment in our comment section dyan sa Facebook page ng BLGF7. Online kapihan sa BLGF7 pa rin tayo. You are watching live. Alive and alive. Ayan, my question. Baka mag-comment kasi kayo. Due to that disallowance ng transaction, sabi ng TSO ng Commission on Audit, medyo mahaba yung pagka-estimate nyo naman costing doon sa transformer. At saka kitang-kita naman na mali yung application of VAT and it resulted to a disallowance of 1 million plus. Minsan yung mga higher costing yan, nagdududa yung Kuya. Saan ba napunta yung pera yan? Bakit mayroong high costing? So again, ang tanong ko, being member of the bank, situate yourself for example that you are a member of the Bids and Awards Committee in that certain transaction na dinis-allow ng Kuya. Magiging liable ba kayo for that transaction? Ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed and with the decision of the Supreme Court on that matter, balikan natin yung mga pa-shoutouts at sa mga pag-greetings. Baka nadagdagan yung mga viewers at sa mga streamers natin live dyan sa ating Facebook page at BLGF7. Pasok, Miss Sid Caballero.
Hello again, Torrance. Hello again sa atong mga viewers diha. Pa-shoutout sa atong mga kauban diri Torrance nga sige tutok diri sa atong kapihan. We have Ma'am June Ann Abella nga bisag nag-attend og seminar, nagtan-aw gihapon sa atong kapihan.
Hindi
Good
nakikinig.
morning, Ma'am
Ibig
June.
sabihin yan, Sid, hindi nakikinig ng seminar kasi Nay, good morning, Nay.
No, nakikinig na si Ma'am June Ann, but kanang trabaho nakaanad na kay na sa multitasking si Ma'am June
Buti
Ann.
na lang
So,
wala si Miss June
you
Ann
know.
na ito. Pwede nating tutuksoin.
Okay.
Nay, saan ka nakikinig? Sa amin o dyan sa seminar? Nay, good morning, Nay. Shout out mo yung mayor mo na Sid, mayor ng Takurong. In behalf of Miss June Ann Abila, i-shout out mo yung mayor ng Takurong City.
Oo. I-shout out na to si Tatay Brennan di ay nga nagtan-aw sa doon sa ilang balay Torns.
Yeah.
We also have our top fun for this morning. We have Miss Gina David from Licao, province of Albay, and Mr. Armel Archaga, the Municipal Assessor of Talibon, Bohol, at also po ang iyang mga staff diha, labi na si Sir Glenn, nagtanaw na to Torns. Kada kapiyan kada Monday, kauban na nato
super.
sila. And also ato po di shout out ang atong treasurer from Bacong Negros Oriental, si Miss Gina Josephine Morados. Ato pong ubang mga kaubantors nga nakatutok nato diri karon. Like si Jed, nga pirmi ina mag-assist atong kapihan. We have Ate Brands, we have Ma'am Gemma, Sarah, Anna. We also have, of course, si Julius, no? Nga pirmi na itong puyog. Ngayon kaysa iyang barong Tagalog.
Parang natutulog lang.
We also have si Sir Edwin nga active kaayo nga maglista sa ato ang mga viewers. Daghan na kay tag viewers karong buntag maglisod taon og lista si Sir Edwin. Good morning, Sir Edwin.
Si Edwin pala yung nakatuka dyan. Sir Edwin, pakita ka mamaya, Sir Edwin, ha?
Also, Torns, kada kapihan nato nagtan-aw po na ang iyang wapang asawa, si Ma'am Susan. Ug iyang mga anak si Eliza o si Dudut. Good morning.
Good morning, Dot.
Ingon din si
Yes, Ardi. Go ahead, Ardi.
Nalimutan niyo shout out ang city assessor ng Danao City, yung the place where Attorney Katanika reside. Si Mr. Cesar
Ardi is greeting someone, Sid. Si Ardi. Yeah, Ardi. Nag-overlapping kayo ni Sid. Again, Ardi.
Yung kababayan ni Attorney Tanyeka, the city assessor ng Danao City. Si Mr. Cesar Palma Sabas Jr. He's watching.
Nagtatanong, Ardi, kailan kaya daw babalik dito sa Danao City sa kanyang office, Ardi? Someday.
Malapit na soon.
Yes.
Magpapakapi si Attorney Tanyeka doon sa kanila.
Ayan, sa
Dadaan
kape.
kami sa inyo.
Doon sa Carmen yung kapihan, masarap yung kape doon.
Yung kinakapihan natin, Torch.
Ang sama. May favorite place kami ni Ardi doon sa somewhere in north of Cebu. So, pag dumadaan kami kami doon nang lilibre si Ardi, medyo na observe ko, kami ni Ardi hot coffee, pero si Miss June Ann, pang millennial yung ininom niya, yung mga cold beverages, yung mga frappe, di ba, Ardi?
Yes.
Tayo lang yung tumatanda, si Miss June Ann bumabata.
Yeah, that's right. So, most likely mabibisita mo yung favorite coffee shop mo next week because you will be going out with the team.
Yeah, the project
your
with the support of our regional director.
Yes, for the vlogging. The first, we'll try.
Can we announce it, Ardi? Ano yung supposedly project natin, Ardi? Para naman hindi tayo maunahan.
Actually, we devise all platforms so nakita na natin how effective this platform is. So, this time we want to engage yung parang video clips, okay? Wherein may mga interaction. Yes, we call it vlogging. So, interaction from the viewpoint of our assessors in the field, as well as yung coming from the BLGF. So, we'll try that. So, please, abangan nyo yung first episode. So, the team will be going out next week with Attorney Tanika.
Thank you for the support ni RD. Inauthorize ni RD talaga yan. Support, full support. Yes,
So
RD?
hopefully, I know, Attorney, and I
Yeah.
believe that this will really help. And pwede nilang tingnan, babalik-balikan yung video clips. Let's say, yung problema
Yeah.
lang nila is how to arrive at that meaning. Yung problem
Yeah.
nila is on that specific area. So pwede nilang balikan. So not necessarily the whole episode, di ba?
Oh,
Okay.
yes,
So
RD.
napakaganda po yung innovation na another breakthrough coming from the brain cells.
Kailangan nating sumakay sa
Attorney
uso,
Tanika.
RD, yung vlogging. Sasakyan natin yung usong yan kasi may mga
That's
bata
right.
tayong kasama dito sa production team.
O kaya lang si Catherine Bernardo nagtampo. Ba't hindi siya nakasali sa casting?
Ay, ayaw yata niya kasi
Ha?
ayaw niya yung mga brewed coffee, RD. Hanggang instant coffee lang daw siya.
Okay. Kasi may mga neon siya, di ba? Ayaw siguro pa-expose
Ah,
kay Catherine Bernardo kasi walang PF po
nga.
ito. Walang PF, walang sponsor.
Wala. Ito ay public service po.
Yes.
Okay, again, thank you for the support, our regional director. Isa pong project na we will attempt to invest on. Pero kasi usong-uso ngayon yung vlogging na yan. We have here members ng aming production team ni medyo bata. At saka makaaya-ayang tingnan sa video, yung mga vlogging kasi yan, ang daming subscribers sa YouTube. This time, trabaho namin to, gawin natin dito, live stream namin yung trabaho namin sa vlogging. Anong mangyayari? Kasi nga, you will now know, may yung face reveal na, sino yung production manager na Julie Spanoy, makikita niya. Punta sila somewhere in the field, go together with si Miss Sara Mitante, tapos magbi-video vlogging sila about the process of general revision. Trabaho pa rin. Tapos on the side, mayroong food trip na parang i-promote nila yung whatever delicacies na mapuntahan namin. Sabi ni RD, in-emphasize kasi i-document, the proper term yata, i-chronicle namin yung every step of the way, paano ba yung general revision. Kasi ang daling basahin sa libro pero hindi natin makita yung actual na ginagawa. Pag makita natin, baka makarelate kayo. And we will be benchmarking this specific LGO. Hindi muna namin i-reveal kasi we are still asking the permission of the Honorable Mayor of that LGO for the support. Again, RD, thank you for the support, RD. Hopefully, this will become a successful endeavor someday sa ating vlogging ng ating mga millennials na ating staff.
And take note, Torch.
Yes, RD, go ahead,
Just
RD.
like yung banter palagi ni Director Nino, we will see to it that there will be a measure, okay?
Yeah.
On how it really helps to our stakeholders, particularly
Yeah.
the assessor and the treasurers.
Yeah, again. Again, sabi kasi nag-submit ako ng proposal ka RD na ganito yung gawin natin, RD. Mayroon ng plotting para naman hindi kami sabi natin, make it formalized. We will furnish this to central office para magiging output at saka for other LGUs to para na rin magiging serbisyo na rin natin sa ating mga lives viewers natin dyan sa Facebook. Again, walang katapusang pa-thank you sa support ng aming regional director. Medyo all out yung support niya. Gustong-gusto na nga sa amin. We will scheduling this para ahead pa sana kasi ang dami pa nang gagawin tungkol mga capacity building. But then sabi niya, this is a good project. Go ahead. So, the initial schedule was last week of May pero medyo may complication. So, hopefully, pag we secure the authority of the Honorable Mayor from that LGU, we will push through with that endeavor. Yan. Parang yung mga vlog lamang yung gawin namin. Hopefully, makasabay kami sa mga millennials ngayon. Balik sa ating Supreme Court case na diniscuss earlier. Again, ang nakabitin nating tanong is if you are a member of Bids and Awards Committee tapos yung transaction wherein you were a member, dinis-allow ng COA, are you liable for that transaction also? Remember, the disallowance amounted to something 1 million plus. Ayan. Sabi ng Supreme Court, again, liable ba kaya dito ang magiging members ng ating Bids and Awards Committee dahil doon sa mga medyo over yung pagka-estimate ng transformer at saka yung wrong application of the value added tax. So let's go with the court's ruling, the Supreme Court ruling. Again, I have mentioned earlier the citation of this case. So kung gusto niyo yung mapasa lahat-lahat ng facts and circumstances, go to that citation to the website of the Supreme Court on the citation that I have mentioned. What was emphasized by the Supreme Court in this case? Sabi ng Supreme Court, hindi naman yata po pwedeng na porkibat membro ka ng isang Bids and Awards Committee, automatic liable ka na doon sa disallowance na ginagawa ng COA. Binalikan ng Supreme Court yung Presidential Decree number 1445 about the Government Auditing Code of the Philippines, which provides, sabi kasi ng itong auditing code, liability of certain officials should be based on participation. So hanapin mo na yung participation mo doon sa disallowance, doon sa transaction na sinasabi ng COA. Hindi automatic yung liability. So ano ba yung participation na yan? General liability for unlawful expenditures. Expenditures of government funds or uses of government property in violation of law or regulation shall be personal liability of the official employee found to be directly responsible. Therefore, hinahanap po ng batas ng Government Auditing Code yung direct responsibility doon sa dinidisallow ng transaction. The Supreme Court even went further to cite Section 19 of the Manual of Certificate of Settlement and Balances, which states, the liability of public officers and other persons for audit disallowances shall be determined on the basis of the following. Ito yung pinaka-importante. The extent of their participation or involvement in the disallowed transaction. Remember, sa ating cited case, yung participation at saka involvement na, for example, you are treasurer, pasali ka doon sa Bids and Award Committee, yung extent of the participation or involvement in the transaction mo lamang ay being member of that Bids and Awards Committee. So, hinahanap ng Supreme Court yung direct responsibility between the transaction made and the involvement and the participation. At saka hinahanap yung actual involvement and participation. This goes without saying that liability is not automatic. Being member of the Bids and Award Committee doesn't mean you are automatically liable on the transaction disallowed by the COA. Kasi sinasabi nga dito ng Section 19 of the Manual of Certificate of Settlement, hinahanap pa rin yun extent of your participation. The liability should be based on extent of participation and involvement in the disallowed transaction. And of course, explainable na self-explanatory na yung A, B at saka D. So, we will zero in on letter C. Sabi ng Supreme Court, the public officers who approve or authorize transaction involving the expenditures of government funds and uses of government properties shall be liable for losses arising from their negligence or failure to exercise diligence of a good father family. Ayan, pumasok uli yung principle o measure of liability for responsible and accountable officers pag mayroong negligence or failure to exercise of due diligence. Yun yung direct participation and involvement, yung hinahanap ng Supreme Court. And on the further stretch, hinahanap din yung Supreme Court kung mayroong bang negligence or failure to exercise diligence of good father of a family. Now, the liability for the disallowances, yung mga audit charges na yan, should be measured by the individual participations or involvement of the persons in charge with the transaction. It is the public officers whose duties require the appraisal, the assessment, the collection of government revenues and receipts shall be liable for the under appraisal, under assessment, or under collection. However, on the basis of the foregoing, there is absolutely no basis for being members in the back to be automatically liable for the disauthorized or disallowed 1 million plus. Again, for emphasis, sabi ng Supreme Court, hindi naman yata tama yon na sabihin natin na on the basis mismo na lang doon sa being membership of the Bids and Awards Committee, magiging liable ka na doon sa disallowed sum. Sabi ng Supreme Court kasi, now, the COA disallowed the amount in question because the actual cost of the principal and the supplemental contracts were 31.55% and 34.53% higher than the COA TSO estimate. COA TSO is the Technical Service Office. And the discrepancy in turn arose from the high cost of transformer and the computation of the VAT appearing of the approved agency estimates. Remember, yung medyo kamalian dito sa transaction na ito, kaya dinisallow ng COA is because of the wrong application of the VAT and the high cost of the transformer as based on the approved agency estimate. Galing doon sa approved agency estimates. And this approved agency estimate was based on the program of work which was prepared and approved by the officials of the engineering department of that certain processing zone, the assistant division chief, the chief of the construction division, and so on and so forth. And therefore, the petitioner being members of the bids and award committee had no part in the participation of that approved agency estimate and the program of work. Therefore, the petitioner's participation in the transaction was limited to her membership on that PBAC, on that bids and awards committee, and that conducted the bidding and evaluated the bids and recommended the award to the contract to the lowest complying bidder. It must be stressed further, Supreme Court, that it disallowed the amount in question not because in the problem in the conduct of public bidding, but because in the erroneous preparation of approved agency estimates. Remember, wala pong nakitang irregularities doon sa bids and award committee transaction, doon sa mismong bidding. Wala pong nakita ang kuha na irregularities doon sa conduct of public bidding. Saan po nakita ang irregularities, erroneous, error pala? Doon po sa preparation of the approved agency estimates. Therefore, parang sinasabi ng Supreme Court, bakit mo naman magiging liable yung being members of the Bids and Awards Committee? He took no hand or part in the preparation of the AIE, which was the basis of the disallowance of the COA. Clearly, therefore, sabi ng Supreme Court, the participation of the Bids and Awards Committee does not render automatically members of that PBAC liable for the disallowed amounts. As the Solicitor General correctly argued, kasi nag-defend yung Solicitor General sa kanila, petitioner had nothing to do with the preparation of the approved agency estimates and thus should not have been liable for the amounts of the disauthorized post-audit amount. Sabi din ng Supreme Court, ina-apply din itong presumption of regularity of the performance of duty in holding petitioners liable for having failed to show good faith and diligence in properly performing functions as members of the PBAC. The COA misconstrued the presumption on regularity in the performance of one's duty. The section requires a clear showing of bad faith, malice, or negligence before a public officer may be held civilly liable for acts done in the performance of duties. Ayan. Application of the presumption of regularity in the performance of one's duty. Therefore, on the other side of that presumption is that there should be a clear showing of bad faith or malice or negligence before a public officer is liable. Hindi naman po pwedeng kasi porkit member ka ng isang BAC, dinisallow yung transaction, automatic liable ka. There should be a clear showing of bad faith. Ika nga ng sabi ng Supreme Court, involvement, participation, degree of involvement, and participation in the disallowed transaction. A public officer is presumed to have acted in regular performance of his or duty, and she cannot be held liable unless contrary evidence is presented to outcome the presumption. And in this case, hindi po na ipakita ng COA iyan. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We have stressed far And once again, we have stressed that hindi po automatic yung mga liability. Being a member of the Bids and Awards Committee does not make you automatically liable in the disallowed transaction. Ang hinahanap po ng Supreme Court, sabi ng Supreme Court, yung degree of participation and involvement in the transaction disallowed, yun po yung hahanapin natin. There must be a clear showing of bad faith and negligence. Hindi naman porket member ka lang, liable ka na. Sabi ng Supreme Court, there is a presumption in the regularity of performance of the official's duty. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That ends our discussion for this third part of responsibility, accountability, and liability. More of that principles on responsibility, accountability, and liability will be discussed in the next succeeding episode. Gamitan, kailangan nating putulin yung discussion natin on this one para hindi masyadong mag-stretch yung ating 1 hour kapihan. Balikan muna natin before we say goodbye yung mga pa-shoutouts at sa mga pag-greetings natin dyan sa mga live streaming kasi mag-11 o'clock na. Sabi nga namin, hindi tayo mag-overtime. Miss Sid, kumusta ba yung mga pa-comment section natin dyan? Pasok!
Mahabang na shout-out sa atong mga valued nga viewers this morning. We have Mr. Silver Cave from Milanilla, Cebu. Mr. Glenn Balasabas, the Municipal Assessor, Tayatan, Negros Oriental. Miss Fe Almenye from Tagbilaran City. Miss Bingbing Fontanosa, atong gwapang Administrative Officer 5. Miss Lirio Bantasan, our top fan and
Yan, suki si ma'am.
and we also have Miss Berna Autentico, Miss Heidi Macapubre Corbo from Toledo City, Cebu. And good morning to the rest of our 65 viewers with us today, Torns. Back to you, Torns.
Thank you, Sid. And it was good co-hosting with you in this episode of BLGF kasi Kapihan. Long time no see. Yan, si Sid Caballero.
Thank you po, Torns, and keep safe and stay BLGF 7 positive, everyone.
Thank you, Sid. RD, this had been putulin natin ang discussion for 11 o'clock. Ayan, promise natin. Mahirap mag-focus sa ating online platform pag sobra-sobra ng 1 hour. Ladies and gentlemen, for our closing message, bago tayo magkaway-kaway, sabi nga natin kanina sa ating news, kaway-kaway in the Zoom platform, ang ating pong regional director for his message. Pasok, RD.
Thank you so much, Storm. So thank you so much to our viewers, our live viewers who have been following us, and also for joining our topic discussion for this morning. So again and again, to our treasurers and assessors in Central Visayas, we want you to be connected with the BLGF. We want you to share your best practices in your respective LGUs, and we want to reach out to you and just open your line, your communication line. Just open your Facebook and click the FB page of BLGF 7 and you will be connected to all of us. So thank you so much and stay safe. Okay? Thank you so much, Miss Catherine and Danielle, and of course to our production team. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Regional Director Jesse Joy Doc Tolero. And again, ladies and gentlemen, in behalf of the production team, in behalf of my co-host, Ms. Sid Caballero, in behalf of our Regional Director Jesse Doc Tolero, and our production team manager, si Sergio Lispanoy, this has been your host, Attorney Wilbert P. Tanyeka, saying bye-bye! Ang kaway at the end of the Zoom.
Oh, yung nakabarong hindi kumaway.